Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tanks Invest. Talk about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's terms only, the investment top today will be Ethereum, ticker ETH. First, just want to say happy Tuesday, everybody. Have a great week so far. Respect to recording time of 8:37 a.m. on Eastern Time, currently $3,424, up about 5.72% so far. In addition to Ethereum, across the entire crypto market is relatively green today, with some anti-collusion effects coming from the equity side of the house, right? Normalizing from the recent surge or the normalization that we experienced yesterday across a lot of the, high growth stocks and tech stocks, if you may, right? And the recuperation is mainly driven by the, more of the subsiding affectation from the Taliban warfare that we're currently cultivating, right? So when you hear anything along the side of, things are becoming more soothing, things are becoming more normalized, it definitely will drive some, interest among public investors to come back into the equation, right? So with respect to the anti-correlation factor we saw on top of the Ethereum with respect to the NFT news that have been percolating recently, right? And just to keep tabs on some of the news that I picked up earlier this morning. Number one, on about 3 hours ago from Bazinga, talking about with respect to Ethereum, expected to reach a year-end return much higher than all the other respective coins, like, and the coins that they have listed here, like Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Bitcoin Cash, if you may, right? And despite Solana has shot up over 6,000% since the beginning of the year, they believe that Ethereum should reach, based on the current value proposition, much higher in percentage wise and price point wise going forward. Ultimately, it's the speculations from the Bazinga analysts. We don't know specifically, but something we can, we learn it as an informative statement from them, but nothing to be completely confirmatory on, as you know. And another one, talk about with respect to Bitcoin price dipped at around 47,800 yesterday, as we saw, right? We actually dipped below that, like 46,800 actually. And we saw some anti-correlation effects. Ethereum slowly separating from Bitcoins with the drag effects, while Ethereum was still sustaining, right? But for obvious reasons, because of the NFT news that's been percolating so far. Also, on top of the the news talking about how much has been burned so far, right? Like 400 million plus of Ether has been burned since the fork, right? So all positive tailwinds on propelling Ethereum price point to go up. Another news talk about on NFT again, but this time it's more of a crypto fund called Three Arrows Capital. Bet big on Ethereum NFTs with Starry Night Fund. Okay, so another commercialization adoption, but this time it's coming from a more of an institutional investor investing into these artistic cultivation, as a form of NFT based from the value proposition of Ethereum, obviously, right? So it's an interesting thing that we know, more hedge funds activities around there. And another one talked about CNBC about 12 hours ago, saying that cryptocurrencies has a big gender problem, right? And I think this is a big gender problem that has been cultivating in finance for quite some time now, right? There is definitely more of a male dominance ecosystem or population within finance community. And cryptocurrency has a big gender problem. It's not just specifically for crypto, it's for the entire financial sector, the industry as a whole, right? And I really love and enjoy working with women, and it's something that I hope that we can fix that, gender, and racial equality issues going forward. But this is a good information that CNBC has brought up for us. And that's pretty much it on the new news, if you may. But these are, again, news are never really new per se. These are marinated and regurgitation news that have occurred already. So going back to the more of the live basis news, right? That's why we do the technical analysis. So it seems like we are testing the 3,450, which if you take a look, the real level of the next substantiveness is technically somewhere around Um, I would say we're around there. Like the current level that we are technically substantive would be the 3,450. If you take a look at the historical rate, we had that small little incremental consolidation, and then we don't really have. We're just basically a big drop and then bounce back up. But this is kind of hovering on a sideways fashion. So technically, we are kind of levitating at the moment, right? Despite the green surge that we're experiencing right now, right? And with this green surge that we're experiencing today, I think the wedge is definitely becoming more and more prominent, right? And you see this is I'm not like being crazy, right? I hope that I just basically drew the line to match with the pattern that we're seeing right now, right? It's probably a little bit more matched up from here. So let me fix this a little bit. Um, there we go. So you see that the apex of the surge is definitely leaning more on the northward side of the house than the south, right? So, and it's also matching with respect to the dip that we're currently seeing as well, right? So with respect to the MACD and RSI right now, it's an interesting picture, right? We are slowly forming a scoop with respect to what we see right now, right? You see this is a slow curvature. So once we form that, we will technically have a golden cross to keep going up from there, right? So we have to definitely watch out. This could possibly get canceled out, right? Because again, we are forming a wedge. And remember the cheat sheet that we talked about, there's a last hurrah that will technically keep surging up before the mega sell off, right? Because the whales has to be incentivized to sell off from there, right? So it seems like, with respect to current level, we are just levitating. The next level after this current level would technically be somewhere around 3,585. You could see that there are some mini candles here, and then the next leap up after we break through that would be technically somewhere around like 3,827, which is a enormous level for us to search up from there, right? So that's like basically $400 gains from this current level right now, right? So something to watch out for as we go higher. The rocket ship definitely has less air or less inertia for us to push up, right? But the signs are all showing, despite the cross section that we have to be watching out for, this is a relatively negative sign, right? And I think that sell off it still matches with the what we talked about on the 22nd. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of a sell off coming on the 22nd of September. And September has, frankly, historically been a negative month for the entire market as a whole, right? It's like the typical sector rotation that occurs before the rally that we see at the end of the year, right, in Q4. All right, just to go through the cheat sheet again, you can see that with respect to the current stage that we at right now, it really matches with the complacency stage. You see a, kind of like an upward wedge, and you see a last hurrah basically hitting the new paradigm comparable level, thinking or convincing people that, oh, we are just cooling off when we are having a rally again. But next thing you know, the whales are going to be incentivized to sell off, and that's where you're going to see the movies coming, right? The anxiety, denial, and panic. But with respect to the burn rates that we're having right now for Ethereum, I don't think we're going to go all the way down to the 1750 again. Matching with this chart that we're seeing right now, right? So I think 2004 and 2007 would be likely, just based on how the psychology of the market cycle looks like, right? And just to talk numbers, right, with respect to entry price, 3,000, 2,750, 2,450, those are levels that I would ideally buy at because of my risk aversion and my risk tolerance. But if you buy it now, right, let's say you just want to buy it because you feel like it, 9,800, 3.3 times your money from the $3,000 mark that you're going to be buying at. And that's pretty much it for today with respect to my Tuesday morning update. Really appreciate you. And just one reminder, I don't have any sort of a media outreach type of platform. I don't have specifically like a WhatsApp or a Patreon yet. I'm still working on it. So I see there are a lot of scammers on the channel. Try to basically screw people with them, or sending out text messages as well. I don't have any of that stuff. This is my only form of communication at the moment. So please be careful. Don't respond and don't just text people because of they pretend to be me. I even see some fake channels like using my logo and using my name, um, which is pretty worrisome to me. And I want you guys to be careful, right? Don't trust everybody. Be cautious whenever you engaging with people. Okay. Really appreciate you, and stay tuned for this to come up. Take care. Bye.